Chet Holmgren, he's a really good player. I've played against him once, a couple years back.
It'll be the whole team. We're working on it, yeah.
Really getting on you as Victor gets the and.
The game that we've all been waiting for, at least for me, the highlight of the preseason, is the fact that the OKC Thunder are facing off against the San Antonio Spurs. And for one reason and one reason only, Victor Wembanyama versus Chet Holmgren. We have a lot to get to, so before we get to this overreaction, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. My friends, we had a
legendary weekend on PrizePicks.
Your boy personally made $700, and I only missed 2 out of 11 of my picks. And you guys hit me up in the DMs and let me know about it. We're about to ramp it up for this week. Remember, you get a $100 deposit match on PrizePicks when you use my promo code microphone, and I post my picks onto my Instagram story at TheFlightMike for free each and every day that there's a football game. And thank you, PrizePicks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Chet Holmgren was selected with the 2nd overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft and was a unicorn of a prospect because it's very rare that you see a man that is 7'1" move in the way that Chet Holmgren does. But the unfortunate part about all of this was the fact that Chet Holmgren never got to make his rookie debut. He's technically considered to be a Ben Simmons type rookie because he missed the entirety of the 2022 season as a result of a Lisfranc injury that occurred during a Pro-Am game. While this was happening, a brand new giant entered the fold. Victor Wembanyama, the greatest NBA prospect since LeBron James, was selected #1 overall by the San Antonio Spurs, one of the most transcendent prospects in NBA history, that also stands at 7 feet 3 inches tall. Both of these individuals are tasked with the weight of carrying their respective franchises forward for at least the next 7 years while they play on their rookie scale contracts and their presumed contract extensions. And although it's very fun to say,
hey, both of these individuals are very tall and move fluidly on the basketball court,
it's a little bit deeper than that. 2 years ago, in the summer of 2021, in the FIBA Under-19 World Cup, the final featured a young Chet Holmgren and Team USA facing off against a young Victor Wembanyama and France. Victor Wembanyama made sure that we all remembered what happened last time Chet Holmgren faced off against him when they were representing their national teams.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I think there's a lot of talent coming, either that's already been developing in the league for a couple of years or coming this year or even coming in next years. And yeah, Chet Holmgren, he's a really good player. I've played against him once, a couple of years back. But yeah, of course, he's part of the great players of this generation, let's say.
Where did you play against him?
Who's got the answer here? Nobody knows?
17.
Yeah, in 2021, I think. 2021?
We'll take
Victor Wembanyama took over, going 6 of 14 from the field for 22 points, and Chet Holmgren went 3 of 8 from the field for 10 points in a very exciting finish that featured Team USA winning by just 2 points. But the question was, who is considered to be the better prospect between the two, Victor Wembanyama or Chet Holmgren? And the interesting part about these two prospects is they could not be any more different. Victor Wembanyama originally was known for his defensive ability and spent the entire 2022 to 2023 season trying to develop his offensive game. Chet Holmgren is very skilled offensively with a remarkable feel for the game and is very, very quick for his size. Now, again, we're talking about two individuals that have yet to play any meaningful basketball in the NBA. But what I could say is leading up till this point, we already got a glimpse of Victor Wembanyama. He had a very disappointing summer league debut that resulted in this interview.
Honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing on the court tonight, but it's you know, I'm trying to learn for the next games and the importance to be ready for the season.
And some interesting highlights, including him getting locked down by Kai Jones, which, by the way, the Kai Jones story is insane. If you want us to cover it, let us know in the comment section down below. In addition to him struggling to effectively use his length on Brandon Miller and him getting locked down by Brandon Miller. And eventually he had no confidence in his jump shot at all whatsoever. Now, Wemby followed that up with an absolute masterful Summer League Game 2, where he would drop 27 points and show off the reason why he was selected #1 overall and considered to be the greatest NBA prospect since LeBron James. Following this, the San Antonio Spurs decided to shut him down, and that's all we would get from Wemby. We would get little glimpses of him here and there, primarily that crazy video of him showing off his flexibility that was taken about a month ago, but for the most part, we got a lot more information about Victor Wembanyama than Chet Holmgren. The only tidbits of information we would get about Chet Holmgren would be just Chet's teammates raving about how incredible he is. Like, look at this interview Josh Giddey had during Media Day.
A dream come true, and we had a little taste of it in Summer League, and in the summer when we were playing, in open runs, and it just felt like the chemistry was there from day one. I still remember the first day he got drafted, he got in, he landed in OKC, he had a team dinner, and the very first day he texted me, he said, "Can we get in the gym?" And this was his first day in Oklahoma. Oh, wow. From that point on, I knew that he works hard. He's always in the gym.
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander talking about him working on his chemistry with Chet Holmgren on alley-oops.
Chet said yesterday that you got to practice with him with alley-oop. How's it going?
I threw one out of bounds. I threw one off the glass, and I connected on a couple. But yeah, we're gonna get better at that every day.
Whereas Josh Giddey seemed a little bit more jealous that he hasn't had as much time to work on alley-oop timing with Chet Holmgren.
I practiced alley-oop with Josh. He wasn't on my team today, but me and Shai we're practicing it a little bit. I'm sure we'll get plenty of reps at it. Yeah, not just Josh. It'll be the whole team. We're working on it. Yeah.
What does Shai and Chet look like together on the court?
Exciting. Yep.
And this would lead us to the most exciting preseason game so far. So how would it go? Let's just preface this by saying it's a preseason game. So don't expect too much defense to be played unless if it's in the form of Victor Wembanyama getting 2 steals in the first half or Victor Wembanyama getting a few blocks. The reason I'm saying that is this game was an offensive onslaught. I mean, you saw everything you would want to see from both Chet and Wemby in this particular game. And again, I know it's just preseason, but just getting a glimpse of what the future of the NBA can look like was just awesome. I mean, there was one point where Victor Wembanyama hit a contested 3-pointer, and then Chet Holmgren came over on the other side and made a 3-pointer as well. Both players were maddeningly efficient in the first half. You saw some nice one-on-one moments. I mean, this one where Victor Wembanyama was able to take it in on Chet Holmgren, get fouled and won, and you most definitely could notice that Wemby was able to put on a decent amount of muscle. Chet Holmgren had this incredible alley-oop contact dunk, which was just wow. But don't worry, Chet Holmgren would get Victor Wembanyama back. Although it wasn't necessarily directly, there was a decent amount of trash talk here. You remember how Wemby flexed on Chet Holmgren after the foul and one? Well, Chet Holmgren got his as well. He was able to get an and one in a very similar fashion, flexed and hit the Shador, which I love how this is becoming a thing, honestly. For those of you guys that don't know where that came from, we have a video on microphone about it. And then probably the biggest highlight of the first half was when Victor Wembanyama was able to spin and get around Chet Holmgren for this incredible finish at the cup. Now, at the end of the day, what are the takeaways from this game? One, it's the fact that you cannot sleep on either Victor Wembanyama or Chet Holmgren's versatility. We've seen giants like this come into the NBA before, none of which that could move the way Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama can. And honestly, this is just a meaningless preseason game, and they've shown their flashes as we've showed you guys in this video. Now, I want you guys to imagine 5 years down the line when the OKC Thunder make it into a huge playoff series versus maybe the San Antonio Spurs, which is very likely to happen. How will that matchup look like? We're on the cusp of a version of the NBA that we have never seen before, and honestly, it's exhilarating to imagine because the game of basketball is evolving right before our very eyes, and I'm here for it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.